Hi, I'm Ross Muscato. Hello, month of May, we are here. Spring may have started about 6 weeks ago, but May amps up the spring quotient powerfully. It amps it up considerably. You know, I often think that it is too easy to wait for weather that is warm and sunlit with gentle winds before we make our effort to enjoy and connect with nature. Yes, when it gets nice, everybody's out and about. Even if around here these first few days of May have been relatively chilly, But soon enough, it's time for the masses to saunter and to stroll and even power walk. But please, if you power walk, no hand weights, no matter how small those weights, okay? It is also time to bike, time to run, time to, I can hardly say it, rollerblade, okay? No, nobody is going to rollerblade. If they do, ignore them, please. Or maybe even, yes, this is better, ask them to stop and not do it again ever. Anyway, here is a question of mine. Where were all of you, yes you Johnny-come-latelys to loving nature, where were all of you in the bitter depth of winter, okay? For indeed there is as much majesty in nature day and night in December and January and February as there is during spring and summer. It is different, that is for sure, the cold period, the period of less light. For much of nature in late fall and early to midwinter is hard and contained and bound. Life is there, of course, but sleeping, waiting, surviving, within and under and buried and surrounded. Of course, we grew up with, and our culture and our literacy speaks to and reinforces the concept and notion of spring as awakening and as rebirth, and land and water and air becoming again animated and busy and noisy. Around this time in Easton, around these parts, audibly, spring arrives conspicuously and distinctly in the form of male spring peeper frogs singing, starting at dusk and through a good portion of the night. A mating chorus, a racket of chirping, yes, peeping, which is more than peeping because it all sounds very much like the ringing of sleigh bells. These guy frogs have been singing for more than a month now and will continue to do so into June and the end of the getting together season. Since the preferred habitat of the spring peeper is low-lying wooded areas and near ponds and swamps and wetlands, and since spring peeper voices can carry and be heard for close to a couple miles, and since all of Easton is low in elevation with much of it woods and wet areas, that makes our community at night and during this time of the year one in which you never have to travel far so as to receive a serenade of those sleigh bells. Spring peepers in their call, a big part of the fun and emotion lift of springing and springing. And no doubt nature is on the whole and for most of us a more welcoming and hospitable place during this time of year than it is in those few months just behind us. And okay, let us allow that it is okay to primarily reserve our nature bonding for the warmer, the hot, and the longer days, and the shorter nights. If so, I highly recommend and call for that you tie into and happily confront nature, that we know it intimately. I highly recommend and call for that we walk its paths and touch its trees, that we climb its trees, we lie on its grass, we go barefoot on dirt, we splash and wade in its brooks, we listen, yes, we listen. Sit on a rock on the cusp of a pond or lake and watch and listen and be open. Sniff and draw in its essence. Taste it. Yes, taste it. Expert foragers in this region, and it is best to defer to expert foragers, for they can discern what is poisonous and not, know that now is a time for food growing wild, such as tender dandelion leaves and chickweed, lily sprouts, stinging nettles, fiddleheads, and watercress. Front, engage, experience the woods and wildness and wilderness and untamed and unspoiled. Enrichment, ennoblement, renewal of mind, soul, and body that nature affords all of us, each of us, is as available to all and each of us in equal measure, no matter our socioeconomic status and no matter our background. Think about it. And a welcome and helpful intruder and companion to any reflection on and study of nature is the insight and are the words of Henry David Thoreau, who is one of my idols and who is one of my inspirations. In Thoreau's book titled Walden, or Life in the Woods, which is his ode to simplicity and beauty, and introspection and healthy priorities, and a celebration of nature, he wrote, quote, "We need the tonic of wildness. At the same time that we are earnest to learn and explore all things, we require that all things be mysterious and unexplorable, that land and sea be indefinitely wild, unsurveyed, and unfathomable by us because unfathomable. We can never have enough of nature." End quote. Mr. Thoreau had that right. Spot on and all true. Have fun and enjoy nature. Have fun and enjoy the wild. Thank you for watching.